Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone at Rubal, and Shalom to the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel, and the rest of the elect destined to be saved under Brother Caleb from the GMS UK London Forecasters Camp. Back with another lesson to help edify those of which I spoke of. I always like to begin by saying that we are the real Hebrew Israelites, and the real Israelites, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians and West Africans predominantly, but you will find Israelites that do look like the other nations, because we as the people have been scattered among all nations throughout our various captivities. But if your seed line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible that was named Israel, then you too are an Israelite no matter what you may look like, because Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18 states that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. So I've got an article lined up here about, it says revealed, details of how Michael Schumacher communicates after F1 legend appears in public at a daughter's wedding. This is from the Mail Online, and this is published on the 2nd of October. It says, F1 icon Michael Schumacher was involved in a horrific skiing accident in 2013. The 7-time world champion hasn't appeared publicly in more than 10 years. The F1 legend is thought to have attended his daughter Gina's wedding last weekend. It says details of how Michael Schumacher communicates have emerged after the F1 legend reportedly appeared in public at his daughter's wedding last weekend. Gina Schumacher, 27, tied the knot with her boyfriend Ian Bethke at the family's luxury villa in Mallorca, which they bought for $27 million in 2017. Guests were reportedly banned from taking phones to the wedding amid reports that 7-time world champion was present. The 55-year-old has been virtually missing from public life since his life-changing skiing accident in 2013, which put him in a devastating coma. A statement released nearly a year after the accident told fans he was no longer in a coma and was continuing a long phase of rehabilitation, but few details of his condition have been revealed since. Ex-Formula One team boss and former QPR co-owner Flavio Battori's ex-wife Elizabeth Gregoresi has previously revealed how Schumacher communicates amid his health battle. Michael doesn't speak, he only communicates with his eyes. She said, only 3 people can visit him and I know who they are. They moved to Spain and his wife has set up a hospital in that house. Spanish newspapers have reported in 2020 that Schumacher had been moved or on a more permanent basis to an exclusive property on the upmarket estate of Las Brisas near Andresax in the southwest of Majorca from a couple's Swiss home. Rumours that Schumacher is unable to speak were backed up by his son Mick during 2021 during a Netflix documentary about his father's life. He said, I think Dad and me, we would understand each other now in a different way now. The effects of a traumatic brain injury depends on a number of factors such as the type, location, severity of injury, Brain Injury Charity Headway says. It adds that symptoms of a brain injury are wide ranging from physical effects such as balance problems, headaches and dizziness to cognitive and emotional behavioural effects. This can include memory problems, fatigue and anger. The last proper update fans received was in 2023 when it was reported that Schumacher had been driven in a Mercedes-AMG sports car in a bid to stimulate areas of his brain he once used for racing. Former Ferrari boss John Todd has spoken about his recovery several times since the accident. In an interview with a French magazine late last year, he said, Michael is here, but I don't miss him. But he's simply not the Michael he used to be. He is different and is wonderfully guided by his wife and children who protect him. His wife is different now, and I have the privilege of sharing moments with him. So his life, not his wife. His life is different now, and I have the privilege of sharing moments with him. Now, why am I reading this article? The reason why I'm reading this article is because this shows that the Most High is the King of Terrors, man. Because the Most High is the one who causes injuries and accidents and life and death. And it was the Most High who made Michael Schumacher have this horrific skiing accident, which has left him with permanent brain damage. And it's interesting because he went through all of those F1 championships, putting his life on the line, driving at breakneck speeds, risking life and limb. I believe he was a 7-time world champion. And he made it through all of that, only to then end up crashing in a skiing accident and being left in his condition for the past 10 years. And what do the scriptures talk about? Scriptures talk about, bear with me, I've got 2 precepts in my head. Just trying to get the first one out. I confuse myself. Oh, damn. The first one's gone. I'll have to read what I've got in my head. And also, Michael Schumacher hasn't appeared publicly since his accident, and he's been living as a recluse ever since. And it reminds me of the precept which says, pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. Read that, say it again, roughly paraphrase it. Pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. So, because of his pride, he won't allow himself to be seen in the actual condition he's in now. He would rather hide away from public life and keep presenting the illusion that he's still the F1 champion that he used to be, rather than humbling down and accepting the conditions of his circumstances that he actually lives in now. He'd rather hide it, and that's pride. And as I said, pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. So because of his pride, the Most High has punished him by having him in this jacked up estate. And this is why the Most High is to be fair, because the Most High is the King of Terrors, man. Let's read on. That's why I'm reading this article. That's all there is to say. Unfortunately, fate struck him 10 years ago. No, it wasn't fate, it was haughty. That's all there is to say. Unfortunately, fate struck him 10 years ago. He is no longer the Michael we knew in Formula One. On December 28th, 2013, Schumacher's life was swiftly altered by a tragic accident while on a family holiday in the French Alps. He fell meters away from a popular ski slope that resulted in critical head injuries. Deciding to go off-piste, Schumacher was unaware of some boulders concealed from view by snowfall. His skis clipped one such boulder, and the sudden force catapulted him into the air, leaving him powerless to avoid a headfirst collision with another rock. He fractured his skull and was left with a brain injury. Ski patrollers and helicopter rescue team arrived at the scene within minutes, with eyewitnesses claiming Schumacher was conscious after the accident, but was unable to answer questions and was moving erratically. Recognizing the severity of the situation, the rescue team quickly immobilized him and transported him to a nearby Motiers hospital, where he arrived at 11:53 a.m. From there, a helicopter airlifted him to the Central Hospital University de Grenoble, a leading medical facility equipped with a specialized neurosurgery unit for 2 life-saving surgeries to reduce pressure on the brain. A later investigation deemed Schumacher was travelling at normal speed and was not skiing beyond his abilities at the moment of the accident. But it is thought his injuries, which would have almost certainly been fatal had the former driver not been wearing a helmet, were exacerbated by a February 2009 motorcycle accident in which he suffered fractures in his head and neck. He then spent 6 months in a coma to aid his recovery and did not return to his family home in Switzerland until 9 months after the accident. Medical professionals and his wife thought to, provide round-the-clock care. And that's the end of the article. Oh gosh. So that's the end of the article. Let's get some precepts on this. Isaiah 45, starting at verse 5. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am Yahweh, there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So the Most High is the one who is responsible for Schumacher having that injury. And that's the result of him paying for his sins in this life and in lifetimes past. This was the judgment. And what a horrible judgment it is to spend 10 years unable to speak, unable to communicate except with your eyes. That is a horrible judgment, man. That is a horrible judgment. Just pull in another precept here. This is Job 18 verse 14. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle. It shall bring him to the king of terrors. Yeah, man, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is the king of terrors, man. That's why he's to be feared. And what does Proverbs 1 and verse 7 say? The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So the Most High is greatly to be feared, because the scriptures talk about fear not him who can destroy the body, but rather fear him who can destroy both body and soul in hell. So hell is not what the so-called Christians teach. I say so-called because they're not Christians, they're really antichrists. But there's no such thing as a literal hell where you burn under the ground and where a red devil torments you with a pitchfork. But the heaven and hell are conditions played out on the earth. So right now, Michael Schumacher is in a form of hell by being in this injured state where he can't communicate except with his eyes. That is the level of hell. And that's why it's a fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in all things. Proverbs 16 and 18 says this. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. So you can tell that Michael Schumacher was a proud man when he was F1 champion. Seven-time F1 champion. He's a very proud man, and his pride is carried over into his state of being injured, and he's still got that pride on him because he's still trying to present the image that he's not unwell at all, and trying to keep up the facade of being the F1 champion that he once was, when he's not. Is a far cry from that. But rather than humbling down and accepting his condition and understanding why he's been put in this condition, he's still doing his best to fight against it. And that's a sad state to be in, but that's what happens when you don't know the truth. I don't know if Schumacher's a Jake or an Edomite, I can't say. But the fact of the matter is, it's the same story when you have pride. Your pride will carry you so far, then the Most High will put a circumstance to you that will bring you low and just totally destroy you because of your pride. And this is a prime example of that. Shame. And it's interesting because I was just thinking about this story a couple of days ago before I even found this article, thinking about you haven't heard anything from Schumacher for a very long time since his injury. And then this article comes out. So that's very interesting, man. I just thought it was interesting because, as I say, pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. And Schumacher had a fall, which basically took everything he had away. All of his independence, all of his... but he's lost his independence, but he's still clinging to his pride. Some madness for you there. But anyway, that's all I've got to say on this one, man. Just thought it was interesting. So with that, giving all praises, honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem V'chakodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of Woolwell, and Shalom to the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel, and the rest of the elect destined to be saved. And I'll catch you on the next lesson, all dwelling. Shalom for now.